Who did it? Steve, was that you?
What did I do?
I don't know. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Tuesday night chat. I'm happy to have everyone here. I'm joined by my BFF in Pennsylvania, Dale, who I just was with, so you guys probably saw her in some of my videos, along with Steve from Raiken Profit. So thank you for being here, Steve. And then my co-host Julian as well, who is here most every week. I think he has a couple weeks off coming up soon. He's going fishing again, I think.
He'll be gone.
He says, yeah. He is gone. All right, so I am going to make Dale and Steve big so they can introduce themselves. Richard is in the chat dropping links to their channels just in case you guys are not subscribed to them. Definitely check them out. So here is Miss Dale.
Hello. Thank you for having me on the chat again, Kat. And my name on YouTube and Instagram is Flippin Fiasco. And I am a part-time reseller. I do work full-time outside of the house. So I am like small potatoes compared to the rest of the people in this chat, but very happy to be here. Thank you.
What's up, everybody? My name is Steve Raiken. I've been reselling on eBay, Amazon. I started with Craigslist about 9 years ago. I actually first started when there was only a couple YouTube channels. The most subscribed YouTube channel in the reselling space had about 600 followers at the time. And I quit my job working at the Cracker Barrel. I decided not to go to school to be an X-ray tech and just followed my passion of flipping items. And since then, I've gone from Craigslist to eBay to Amazon. I'm mostly selling on Amazon FBA. Right now, I do a lot of media items, board games, DVDs, and I actually work with a team who helps me source now. And yeah, I love it. And I love helping and teaching people on my YouTube channel at Raiken Profit. Thanks so much for having me on. I'm excited to hang out with your awesome audience.
Perfect. Minus 80,000 in student loan.
Oh, Kat, your internet is being wonky.
Yeah,
You're frozen.
Kat, are you still there?
I know.
I thought it was my Wi-Fi because I'm upstairs and I'm like, uh-oh, it's me, but no.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it's Kat.
Yeah,
Well, let's all start.
Oh, yeah.
I'm back. I don't know what happened. Did you guys hear any of what I said?
Nope.
Nope.
I said Steve did what I might have should have done, and then I wouldn't have 80,000 in student loans because it took me that long to decide that this is what I wanted to do. But this made me who I am too, and I love nursing, so you know it's a handoff. But it took me a little while. I didn't decide right off the bat. But okay. Richard wants his question first before Duncan's. Duncan is not going to be in the chat. I know everybody's used to Duncan being in the chat. He is away, but he is watching us. So he recruited Richard to ask his questions tonight. Richard wants to know what tip or advice would you give someone wanting to sell higher profit items?
So, well, I would say first you have to build up, your cash reserves to be able to afford to pay up for items. But then you just have to do your research. And if you have a niche that you're more passionate about, then start looking on eBay at solds from high to low and learn what in your category is going for higher. So that's my tip. Steve? You're next.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. I didn't know if it was like a one person
We'll get
hot seat.
Or like a bell goes off. Ding, Steve.
Yeah. I'm getting the hang of these things. But yeah, I mean, if you're trying to, flip higher profit items, like the first thing, like you got to be able to identify these items. Certain categories are going to have the ability to make more money than others. I mean, there's always high profit items in every single niche out there. But one great example, I had a friend, I don't know if you guys know Tino. He has a YouTube channel, Tino the Soul Advisor. I don't think he posts too much anymore, but a couple of years back, he was doing over $200,000 a year just flipping shoes. He was out of Texas. And the thing that he always told me that he loved most about shoes is his average selling price is $40, $50 per item. So certain niches out there, a niche that I don't know much about is like, a lot of antiques and collectibles and glassware. I've made some videos in the past, like researching items. I'm like, I'm going to stop doing this because I'm looking like an idiot because I don't know what I'm talking about. Like I was trying to learn on the fly, and those are complicated niches, but some of the niches out there can make you a lot more money. So I always recommend start with a niche you're interested in, you're passionate about, and then over time you can start to like just spend time like going through the sold listings and learning about different things. But you'd be shocked the niches out there that exist that can make you money, and shoes is one of those that I really like.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Education is like super important when it comes to high profit items. You have to know exactly like you just said, there's a ton. Every little category has its definite high priced items. And just knowing that, like in tools, even some tools are worth a ton because they have a certain switch on them or whatever. So that's like super important. But usually when you get into higher profit items, you're also going to spend more money on those items. Usually, not always. So always remember to have that like cash flow ready to go and the ability to buy it.
Yeah, and I've been doing some of the videos like Steve said he has with research, and everybody's been loving those. And the thing for me is I'm doing stuff that I'm already selling. So I've already sold some higher dollar and I'm familiar with most of the brand names. Like I did jewelry, I did what I did brooches specifically, and I think potential spam is calling me. I think that I am going to do teacups next, which I've made several $1,000s off those. So my big thing for the research videos is that I want to do stuff like Steve was saying, he didn't have any idea. I want to make sure it's like categories that I know and I'm familiar with. So some of those names, I'm like, okay, I know these names and know they're selling. Dale had a good point with you. You have to have the money. You're going to have to spend more typically to make more. My higher dollar items that have sold, like my $2,000 and $3,000 items, I paid $500, $600, $700 for. So you have to have that to be able, and one of them is still sitting on the shelf. So you also have to be able to have that money to sit there for months if it takes that long to find that high price buyer. But sorting from high to low is how I research, and you can do it with anything you're selling, and then you learn. And that's where I recommend a lot of people online auctions, because a lot of times you're not going to find the higher dollar items necessarily at the thrift store. You might, but not always. So if you're not finding higher dollar, then maybe change up how you're sourcing as well. I see Steve and Richard up there too, and a member. Okay, dolphin time, guys, dolphin time. Holly joined the membership. So Holly, thank you. And our next members live is a week from Saturday. We'll be doing sourcing. So here's your dolphin.
Welcome to the Flipping family.
And then I see Steve and Richard. I knew the pictures. Steve says smash like button. Steve, thank you so much. I really
do that. Somebody must have hacked into my computer.
Somebody hacked his account.
That must be
broken into. Here's a dolphin for not Steve.
Super chat.
Steve beat Richard is what Richard is saying. Richard can go outside of his front door and see dolphins right now on the beach, but I'm gonna give him a dolphin anyways. Here you go, Richard.
Super chat.
Let's see. Apparently, this is Duncan's question. Duncan wants to know, do you use social media to boost your eBay views?
I have not done that.
Nope. Only thing I really do to boost views is like running sales or sponsored ads, really. I mean, outside of all the traditional, making sure you have a good listing, good keywords, good pictures, good metrics, so eBay doesn't hide you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say very minimal, at least. Say if you have a really big video that pops off and you showed a couple items in that video that you picked up at like a yard sale, you might get a couple people like watch that to see if it actually sells for that price. Like this, is he actually saying it's going to sell for 20? Does it really sell for 20? But other than that, no, that would be absolutely not. Usually it's just by keep listing and have good photographs.
Yeah, and I would say I don't use it, but I would say I probably get it. I have like over 4,000 people following my eBay store, and that's not just randomly. I'm sure that's from social media. But I know a lot of YouTube resellers that will post stuff like that they've listed, you know, to try and get it that way. I don't do that. I show stuff after it's sold, so I don't intentionally use social media to like try and drive people to my stores, but it does happen because, like I said, I have a decent following on eBay, but I think it's like Julian said too, like people are wanting to know like if we're really selling this stuff for what we say we're selling it for in our videos, and I think that's a lot of it. I think that would be a good. I know Dagny comes to mind, Flying Pig Thrifts. She always posts late night listing, and she posts like what she's putting up. So she's doing it kind of the opposite. She is showing what she has so people go and look at it. But I have not had time. I've not had time to do that. All right, another Duncan. List from the phone, the computer, or both. What do you feel is better?
So I do a mix because it's easier for me. It's easier for me to type on my laptop, but I take pictures on my phone. So what I'll do is like do some of my research on the laptop, and like on eBay, I'll find the similar that I want to start my listing from. And then I'll save the draft and then upload the pictures from my phone and finish the listing that way. So it all depends on, you know, what works best for you, but that's what I have found works for me.
Yeah, we're only talking about eBay right now for the most part. Yeah. So for eBay, I like to use, I don't sell as much on eBay as I used to. I'm mostly Amazon now, but when I do list stuff on eBay, I'm always selling more like higher end stuff. But I use my phone just because it's simple and it's more streamlined. And I feel like, you know, I mean, if you could obviously probably take better pictures with like a camera and upload it and everything. But honestly, like I just got the new iPhone 13 or whatever the freaking newest one is. Like that camera is insane, even for YouTube videos. They've got the cinematic mode. But the point I was trying to make is if you have like a distraction-free background and you have good light, you can take pictures with like a potato and it'll still come out pretty nice. Like if you have good lighting, you know, but if you have like a terrible background and you have no lighting, you could have the best camera in the world and the quality is still going to come out poor. So I just like the phone, just it's streamlined. It's easy. I don't have to upload it to the computer and then download it and all that stuff.
Yeah, I do everything from my phone. I think that I guess I get why people do upload to their computer, but to me, that's just another task that I have to go do that would take time away from like listing more items. So I'm 100% all phone. I agree. Lighting is the most important. I use Photo Room a bunch now with the batch editing, and even if it's, you know, I do a lot in my garage now, and the lighting is good. It doesn't really matter the background. I'll just wipe that stuff clean, and then it really does help out really good. But lighting is more important than I think than anything.
Yeah, and I list all from my phone except for drafts. I do like the ones that my listers do. I list from the computer just because it's easier to see like a list and I can go faster on the computer from a draft. But if I'm listing myself, I do all phone. And I actually bought the nice camera and was like, I'm going to take nice pictures and upload them. And that lasted for like a day. And I'm like, no way, it takes too long. I'm doing it for my phone. So for listing, I'm 100% phone. All of my listers use their phone to list exclusively. And then we do Photo Room as well. And then I do my sales and my shipping from my computer. I do want to say that. So I don't do everything from my phone. There are a few things that we do use the computer for. Thank you. Mark is telling me I look like I'm sick. Calling him out for texting me, asking me if I'm sick. Love you too, Mark. I gotta call him out. I'm like, what are you trying to say? I'm not sick.
Yeah, feeling pretty good actually.
Yeah.
Erica thinks I look marvelous. Thank you. So she wants to know, and we can answer her question, then I'll give her a dolphin. She wants to know if any of us are adding videos to the listing. And Steve, you can answer as far as Amazon too. I don't know if Amazon has the video capability, but yeah. So Dale, have you used it yet?
So I just used a video on Poshmark because I put a new battery in a watch that I was selling. So I showed like a 10-second clip of the watch actually running. But I haven't done that.
Well then, Gail just died.
Kat
I mean,
didn't
she
like
didn't
her
really
answer.
die.
Yeah, Kat was like, no watch talk around here.
Talk about
wait.
watches, you're
Oh,
out.
she's back making a face, but she's back.
I don't know what happened. I accidentally hit leave studio, I think. So sorry about that. But anyway, yes. Is it as easy to add one on eBay now? Like, did they make it easier? I don't know. I haven't done it on eBay.
Yeah, I'm definitely
Oh
not
yeah,
going to.
there's one on eBay now, but yeah. Sorry, Steve. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's good. I was just going to say I'm not going to talk about watches because I don't want to get booted out of the live stream. But no, I haven't used. I haven't used any videos or anything on Amazon. I know you can add videos if you have like your own brand, and you're able to do that. But I've never done any of that.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, and I was going to because I had all the expensive high dollar pottery, which I've sold like a couple thousand of without the videos. But I bought the cute little twirly thing and set the bowls on. And apparently there's a new lister. You have to click. It's like, I think it's like a plugin for your browser. So in order to add the videos, you have to use that. And I didn't have it. So I'm like, I couldn't find it. So I did like 15 videos, didn't get them into my listings, and then figured out that I needed to have this browser extension. But I probably would, but only like for those, you know, like $300, $400, $500 items. If I thought a video would enhance it, if I didn't, I probably wouldn't do it. But yeah, so because again, I like to list on the phone. So hopefully they'll have a way on your phone to add video soon. Oh, I need her dolphin. Hold on. Erica needs a dolphin. I always, if I don't do the dolphin first, I forget. Here's your dolphin, Erica. Thank you.
Super chat.
You've
All
quite
right.
a few after that.
Yeah, I'm going to grab Margaret's question, and then I saw there were quite a few rolling in. And I pulled this up because I'm not very versed, so I'll answer this. She wants to know, when you become a top-rated seller, does eBay stop holding funds? And she wants to know how you become a top-rated seller. So I have this pulled up on my computer. It says you have to have an account for 90 days or more, a minimum of 100 transactions, and $1,000 in sales over the last year. Less than 0.3% of cases closed without seller resolution, maximum defect of 0.5%, and no more than 3% of transactions with late shipping. I will say I don't think that negates the holding of funds. I think the holding of funds is like the length of time you've been on eBay, because she was asking, like, she has a payout for the 22nd, but the more that you do and ship and eBay sees your people are getting the stuff, it's arriving on time, there aren't complaints, those funds will be freed up eventually. What did Mark write? Okay, let's roll through some super chats. I see Julian laughing. Miss Katie reads, one of my good friends and one of our mods in our Facebook group. Thank you, ma'am. Here is your dolphin. Here, we'll get Camille and Katie in one, and then we'll roll through a couple more. So Camille, thank you. Some people hate my dolphin. I think the majority love it, but there are some dolphin haters out there. So we will combine a couple. Oh, it's Charlie. I forgot to call him Charlie tonight. I forgot that Clara named the dolphin Charlie. So here's Charlie, Camille.
Super chat.
All right. Miss Cindy sent a $4.99 super sticker. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you. Go, Julian, go. Mark, OG and Z, making up for the sick comment. I did just wake up, but so Mark's very, very observant, I guess I will say. That could be a good or bad thing. I don't know, but okay, Mark, here you go.
Super chat.
Got a new member too.
Miss Vanessa. Yes. The live sourcing membership. Oh, and we need to look for Terry. Watch for, what's her name? So I have had a couple people, Steve, I don't know if you can tell me this actually, since you've been on YouTube a while. I have a couple people that are not blocked and are actually paid channel members that their comments are being hidden. And I do not have them blocked. And I'm like, I have no control over it. And I checked like words because I thought I did have some blocked words. So I erased all blocked words, but there are 2 people that are saying they cannot comment. Have you ever heard of that?
I haven't. I was actually going to give the same suggestion that you already just said. So, I mean, I would advise you to contact YouTube support, but I don't even think that exists.
Yeah. Terry, I saw last night in my premiere, so I'm hoping her issue is fixed. But then also Miss Susie too, and like I looked 3 times, and I have like 400 people blocked from my channel. I looked like repeatedly, and they are not blocked, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So Holly's joining just made me think of that. So I'm gonna hopefully, Susie just texted me and said, Kat, I give up. She said it's not working. And it sucks because we have we don't have anything to do with that, which sucks. Huh. Miss Susie, I'm gonna try and figure it out for you sometime tomorrow, I hope, or at least find somebody you can contact. All right, here's Vanessa's Dolphin. What the heck was that?
I don't know. I got scared.
He was in stereo or possessed.
I don't know what happened there.
There's a brown sound dolphin in my ear.
Yeah.
That was kind of creepy, but yeah. Okay, let's grab a couple questions and then we'll do another super chat run. Diane said, I'm tired of no sales on Mercari the last 3 weeks, so I made the jump to eBay. The problem is I'm not getting notification on my phone for sales offers, etc., and I turned on notifications.
Yeah, maybe you could try deleting and re-downloading the eBay app, because sometimes that seems to fix issues that people have. So that is worth a shot. But I personally, I am a little obsessive that I check my eBay app several times a day, so I don't need the notifications.
Yeah, same advice. That's what I would do. Sometimes you just have to remove it and add it back, and other times the phone just hates you, and I've given up.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. That was my advice too. And so you're right. Sometimes it doesn't work, and then a week later it'll start working again. So
yeah.
But yeah. Delete and
yeah,
restart.
I would say check them too, though. Like Dale said, maybe check them every morning or something. If you're not getting a ton, check them once or twice a day. My notification sound is off, so I don't get cha-chings and stuff, but I still get it pop up when I get sales. But I would make a habit of just checking it once or twice a day for sure. Miss Diana wants to know, when you give the shipping discount to the buyer, does it show the discount on your listing? If so, wouldn't that be a smart competitive thing to do?
So if you're talking on eBay, then it does show, if you offer free shipping or whatever the shipping's going to be, that
I think they're talking about, and I've never seen how to do this, and I've been on eBay since the 90s. There's a way to give your buyer your discount. So that 30% that we get off, you can pass it on to the buyer. So that's what she's talking about.
I do not have any insight on that then.
Same here. Let's see if we have any luck moving forward.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Passing it to you.
I would say it would not be a smart business thing to do, because that's the money that I use to pay for my supplies. So I don't want to pass that on to them. That's why I haven't investigated to try and figure it out, because that 30% difference, eBay takes 10% for fees. And then that leaves me 20% for my boxes and bubble wrap and stuff. So I don't want to pass that discount on to my buyers, because that's how I pay for my shipping supplies. So it might be, you could do that to be smart and competitive, but you could also just lower the price of your item by a couple of dollars and beat your competitors out that way as well. So don't if you pass on that discount, you're paying an extra 10% to eBay out of your pocket. If you're giving them the whole discount. So All right, Julian, do we have
We got
super chats? I dropped stuff. Miss Anita said, thank you all. Each of you has taught me something different. Miss Anita is watching all of us, which is awesome. So thank you, Miss Anita. Here is your dolphin.
Super chat.
You're good.
Miss Anita, if you missed it Saturday, I looked on your auction for you at the first of our members live, just FYI. I don't know if you went back and saw it or not.
Are we
Are we
allowed
caught
to
up,
ask
Julian?
questions when we're on the panel?
Yeah, ask a question. What's your question, Dale?
So my question is for Steve. I looked at getting started on Amazon, but I found that you almost like have to jump in the water. It was the way that I felt, because you have to pay the professional, like, to be a professional business on Amazon, right? There's like a $40 fee.
You don't have to pay it. There's a free account as well. They hide it from you.
Well, and I think that I did the free account, and then I signed up for the Scout IQ app. But to do that, you have to have the professional account on Amazon. So I felt like I was going to be like $50 all in to like really be able to see if it was going to work for me. So I'm just curious, like, how you would recommend somebody get started on Amazon. I know that's might be hard for you because you're so far past that. But
no, I that's one of the things I love, helping beginners get started. I helped my mom to get started 6 years ago, and she was on a budget. She was hardly making enough money to pay her bills and stuff from her job and all that. And I taught her how to start a book business. Now she does anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 a month just selling books. And when she first started, things were a little different back then. You didn't need the professional account with Scout IQ, but now you do. But honestly, if you're on a budget, sign up for the free Amazon account. They hide it though. So like when you go to sign up, there's like a little tiny fine print at the bottom because Amazon just loves to take your money. But sign up for the free Amazon account and just scan with the Amazon seller app. It's free. It's not as efficient, but I always recommend people when you're new, like obviously someone like yourself who's already having success and you understand what it takes to be successful as a reseller. It's easy to flip one item, but to build like a side hustle out of it that's consistently bringing in money, like that takes a lot of character. But I would just start with the Amazon seller app, sign up for the free account. And once you start to make some money, you start to make some sales, then I would start to invest into like a Bluetooth scanner that's $50 and Scout IQ, because it stinks when you're on a budget and you have these reoccurring fees hitting you every single month. Because let's be honest, I don't care what platform you're on. For the average person, it's going to take 3 to 6 months to start seeing some type of success. Like you can make some sales in the beginning, but sales doesn't mean profit.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of how I would get started. Just start like that, and then slowly you can invest in the business.
Okay.
And if you want a scanner, I don't know if I could find mine. So Steve, I watched you years ago. I started doing books and I watched Romer the Romer, and I did it, and I just found I had to pick Amazon or eBay. For me, I couldn't concentrate on both because to me, they're totally different beasts. And with what I like to sell, eBay fit my, just what I wanted to do better. So I think I still have some stuff in FBA from years ago. I've been getting storage fees and they are destroying it. I'm like, just throw it away, burn it, put it on pallets, do whatever you want with an Amazon. I don't care because I don't even remember what's there. But yeah, so I love like FBA. The fact that you don't have to store stuff at your house is absolutely amazing. Brad hated me when I did books because I was sending in like hundreds of pounds a week, and his back didn't like it very much. But other than that, and I actually took cast-offs from another Amazon bookseller because they had stricter requirements of what they were going to send in than I did. So I would get a whole carload from them for $20 and still find tons of books that I was okay sending in. So, and Dale and he, like, they just post ads on Facebook and Craigslist, the people that I used to get my books from, and they'd say, we come remove your books for free, but they would go take everybody's whole book collection and then I got their cast offs for $20 for a car full. So yeah, it's definitely a different business model. And one of my best friends is in private label and making, millions of dollars in sales. And he would teach me if I wanted. He would teach me, but I have no interest in it. I have no interest. And I think being interested in liking what you're doing is important. All right, I'm grabbing a question, Julian, then we can grab them. Flippin' Bros, what do you all do when you aren't motivated to resell in general? I'm finding it hard to work on reselling after working my full-time job during the day.
That is a great question because I find this, like, I have the same issue. And I always feel like it's when I come on your chats, Kat, that I've been like the worst reseller in like the past couple weeks. And this week I'm off.
But
like,
you just got a new job.
Well,
you
but
just
I'm between jobs.
Career paths.
Yes, I am. So my last day was last Friday. I'm off this week, which you would think means that I have all the time to focus on reselling. But like today I was visiting my niece and her twins all day. Tomorrow I'm spending the day with my husband. Thursday I'm getting a haircut and my nails done. Friday I have a funeral to go to. So it's like the whole week is just gone. So to try to answer the question, I find that if I just force myself for like 1 hour, just 1 hour, get in there and like take photographs, or like if I've already got photographs, just pound out the listings, like just forcing yourself to at least take 1 hour and get something done. That is one way to do it when you're still working a full-time job.
Yeah. And everybody goes through this. I'm sure a lot of people watch your YouTube channel, Kat, and Julian, everybody. And it's just like, they watch and they think like, we never are unmotivated. Like everything's perfect because we control the setting on social media. So like, obviously we're putting our best foot forward. We don't show the rough times, but it's normal. We all go through it. Sometimes it's just about taking that first step and saying, you know what, I had a game plan to list 20 items, but I'm just going to list 2 items. And I oftentimes find that once I just get a little bit of momentum, it feels good. And I'm like, wow, okay, this wasn't as hard. It was the thought in my mind that was really holding me back the most. Another tip I would give is try to get people to help you as well. In my business right now, I know I won't go too deep into it, but I have 2 full-time virtual assistants who pretty much source all my inventory for me. So I have systems set up where they're pretty much buying, sourcing, it's all showing up at my house. So, sometimes, just having other people helping you and just moving the business forward motivates you as well. I know not everybody can hire somebody, but those are just a couple tips, but it's normal. We all go through it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Sometimes motivation, especially when you work for yourself, you're like, I don't really have to do this today, but you really do have to. No, my biggest thing is I am a schedule-oriented person. I always thought like I wasn't. I was like, I'm not schedule-oriented. Whatever, I can do whatever I want. But that's not true. Like I actually have a very strict schedule that I keep. And if I don't, I will fall into, even if I'm unmotivated that day to do something, I'm like, it's on the schedule. I have to do it. Like I wrote it down. I have to do it. And I was going to list 20, but why don't I just start with 1? And then usually that will kick it off a little bit. And then I'll get a little bit more interested and then something will sell. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to list 20 today. But I am very strict when it comes to my schedule. How many things I have to list and stuff like that. But yeah, being unmotivated is like, that is, and you're right. We don't really show that too much. At least I don't show that too much on my YouTube channel.
I don't think many of us.
What's there to show?
You don't want to see me on my
slug on the sofa.
Yeah, me just holding the camera going, I'm not doing anything today, guys.
I'm not doing
it. Yeah, but no, you're right, and but it's very normal. But I just do it. I just like have to write it down, say I'm going to start listing now, and then usually turn off TikTok or YouTube that I'm consuming and go do it.
Yeah,
TikTok's terrible.
Oh my, I can't it's so funny. When I went to get my hair done last time, I opened TikTok and I'm like, I haven't looked at TikTok since I was here 3 months ago because I will be watching TikTok for 2 hours. And I'm like, I cannot open TikTok because I will not close TikTok. So for me, when I had my full-time job, I had a concrete goal of wanting to get out of my full-time job. So that's a real big motivator, knowing that I wanted, to quit nursing and start reselling. So it actually was easier for me to be motivated when I had my full-time job than it is now, because it is my full-time job now. So I this week didn't feel good and I didn't get stuff done. And it's crazy because I'm feeling better. I'm doing stuff and my sales are skyrocketing. So you definitely at least see the results when you start putting that, effort in. But I would say, depending on if your goal is for a vacation, throw a picture of that up on the wall. Or if you're wanting to quit your full-time job, think about what your goal is by doing it. And that definitely pushed me forward when I still was working full-time. All right, Julian. Vintage Chick 64. Thanks for all your tips, Kat. You are very, very welcome. Here is your dolphin.
Super chat.
I like that little rabbit with the glasses too. It's cute.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's the only one I got.
Okay, perfect. Diana Pierce wants to know, when do you round up to the next pound or ounce? I'm going to just take this and say always. So if it's 4.1 pounds or ounces, you would round up to 5 ounces or 5 pounds. The post office is never going to round down. So you should always there's no 0.5 and higher you round up and 0.5 and lower you round down. It's not, anytime it's over it by anything, you need to round up.
Yeah, my daughter just got nailed on a Poshmark purchase because, they have the limit of 5 pounds.
Yeah.
And so I went to pick it up and they were like, oh, you have to pay. And I'm like, no, if it's in a fixed rate box, Poshmark has a thing. I don't have, and they're like, no, it's because it was overweight. It was 5.2 pounds.
And they made her as a buyer pay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. So Poshmark sellers, listen to that. They made the buyer.
That is a strict 5 pounds. Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. Miss Vicky, can you change your address to P.O. Box on eBay? Yes. But be careful. There are 5 places on eBay. You have your shipping address and your receiving address and your return. There are 5 places you need to change your address on eBay. Yeah, look, Ping G answered it for me. There are 5 addresses you can update. I learned that the hard way too. I'm I kept not seeing it.
Yeah.
Miss Anna wants to know, do we have sole proprietorship or LLC, and do we pay quarterly? I'm gonna assume she means, do we pay taxes quarterly? And what do you suggest for a new reseller?
So I actually just established my an LLC and just officially did my taxes for 2021 for the first time. Before that, I was a hobby seller. So they suggested that for this year, I start paying quarterly taxes. So for a new seller, it depends on you could be a new seller, but start selling $10,000 this month. So I think it depends on how the quantity that you plan to sell, but definitely talk to a tax professional.
Yeah, same here. Obviously we're just people on the internet sharing our own experience. When I first started, I started as a sole proprietor. And once I started making money and, I wanted to legitimize my business, I eventually ended up incorporating. You could just go to your Secretary of the State or use LegalZoom to become a LLC. Just remember, once you become an LLC, there are going to be more costs involved when you go to get your tax return done. So the days of you doing a tax return for a couple $100, you could say goodbye to that unless you have a special person that is hooking you up. I personally have an S corporation. So essentially I'm an employee to my company and it saves me on taxes. There are more fees for that as well because you have a payroll company and everything. So if you're not making at least $100,000 profit or so, that's what my accountants used to say. It's really not worth it with all the added just administrative costs and payroll and tax returns and stuff. But if you're new, I would just start as a sole proprietor. too many people, they jump into the game. They want all the bells and whistles and softwares and subscriptions, and they want to look cool. Nobody cares. At the end of the day, once you start to legitimize your business, then take that next step. But I'm just a guy on the internet.
Yeah, I'm almost going to say the same thing. I started out as a sole proprietor, and I'm 2.5 years in, and we just became an LLC like 3 days ago. So that's all finished. And so we did all, because it was the same thing. It was like it makes sense now. And then I think I like your 100,000 profit thing, because I looked into the S corp. I'm not there yet, so there's no reason to take that leap into that quite yet. So I'm building fairly slowly, but still, it's one of those things. But definitely sole proprietor. But also your quarterlies, if you make over a certain amount, like, you will get fined if you don't pay your quarterly taxes. I know that from experience from 2 years ago. So yeah, so make sure, like, talk to a tax, a person that knows taxes, like a CPA, that if you are not paying your quarterlies and you make over a certain amount of money, I got fined from the federal government saying, hey, you didn't pay your quarterly taxes. So yes, I pay my quarterly taxes now. My estimated quarterly taxes.
Yeah, and we do as well, but that's all of mine is at the urging of my accountant. I would say 110%. If you're having these questions, you should at least consult an accountant. We did LLC. We actually, like Steve, just changed to S Corp at the beginning of this year. I am on payroll. Plus I employ listers. They are on my payroll as well. And we pay what my accountant says for quarterly taxes. So I would say I got an accountant when I started making like $2,000 a month in sales. I was like, I don't want to deal with the government, because I know that you can easily get into trouble with taxes and stuff. So when I started making $2,000 a month in sales, I hired an accountant. He does all my monthly bookkeeping. I'm lucky. Like Steve was saying, like, I only get charged a few hundred because I pay him monthly to do my bookkeeping. So he doesn't charge me an arm and a leg to do my annual tax return, because he already has all the stuff. But I would definitely consult an accountant. Miss Anna wants to know if any of us are selling on Whatnot, or are we considering it?
I am not selling on Whatnot, and I don't think that I have an audience that would drive enough sales on Whatnot, but that's just my opinion at the moment.
Yeah, I'm seeing it like take off like wildfire. I'm usually like pretty good at like predicting things, like seeing like what's like this thing seems like everybody's talking about it. I was just watching Rally Roots on it before, and I went on to the site, and to be honest, I really don't know much. I know I need to spend some time, a couple hours, and just research it. Maybe you guys can educate me a little bit more about how it works, but there's a really good energy going around the community about it. I'm not sure if people are having much success, or if people are using it more to buy or sell, because I buy from a lot of resellers on eBay, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace. So I've been thinking more on the buyer side to buy and then flip on Amazon, but I haven't investigated it enough. So Julian and Kat, I'm kind of curious if you guys know much about, what resellers are having success with on it.
I've watched a lot of other resellers get into it, and then I don't even have, like, I haven't watched their auctions, but I have listened to them on their YouTube channels talk about it. I haven't looked into it. Multiple people are like, hey, you probably should. And I don't know enough about it quite yet. Like, I don't know if I can make enough. You get a lot of sales, but I don't know, like, are they selling, a hat that I get $10 for, they're selling it for $3 on Whatnot, and then you take a $7 loss, but you sell it very quickly. So that's where, like, I'm at it. So I am considering it, because I consider every avenue, but I just have not really educated myself quite that good yet to go ahead and, like, jump into it. And you have to be there. Like, you have to do a lot of auctions. Like,
You have to be there and actually do it.
You got to be there and show stuff. Yeah.
So I just got approved to sell on Whatnot a week ago. I have not followed up. You have to do like an initial video interview, and I haven't been feeling well, so I have not even taken the second step, but I got the email saying I'm approved. My understanding is a lot of it is you're bringing your own audience, so I'm honestly not 100% that I'm gonna accept I'm approved at this point yet. because I can bring my audience to my own channel for live sales without a fee. And I think their fees are like 5 to 8%, so they're lower. But the other thing for me is the main things that I see people selling are like toys, comic books, hats, like the vintage t-shirts. It's all stuff I don't sell. And so my concern is just that I wouldn't have the stuff that the general whatnot demographics would want. So I would have to bring my own audience, which I have, but I figure if I'm going to bring my own audience, why would I not just bring them to my own channel and not have fees? So I'm really on the fence. I know Dom Primetime Treasure Hunter has been doing amazing at it. He absolutely loves whatnot. But he does a lot of comics and he has toys and stuff. And again, stuff I don't have that stuff. I don't find that stuff where I'm at. So I have not decided. Like Steve, I mean, you got the social media, you could drive it, but I think it's like toys and, vintage t-shirts, vintage hats, comics, like trading cards, stuff like that seems to be what's going good. It doesn't seem like other stuff has picked up yet.
Let me ask you guys. So exactly how does it work? Like, do you have to put your credit card in like as a buyer, and like, are you able to just like put in bids and like the highest bidder wins and it like lasts for a minute? Like, can someone explain the premise?
I think it's like a minute. I haven't watched any either. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't had time to. But I'm pretty sure that it is binding. So like the funds are there and held if the people bid on it for you. And they do send you the shipping labels and stuff like eBay would with like the item number. I know Jimmy was on with us, 2 weeks ago, Julian? Jimmy was on, or we? Yep. And he actually stopped doing whatnot because he was losing money. He was getting a third of what he could get on eBay, and he decided to stop because he didn't have that big social media presence. So I think there's a lot of different like flip sides to that. And it looks like in general, it is the people that have a very large social media following that are doing well on there. Like, just like somebody that doesn't have it.
That's why we're hearing about it. But
right.
But us little people.
And you could call it, I think it's a minute. You're the one that like calls it, and you can preload in your items, and it just sounds like a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie, like it sounds like a lot of work.
Well, that's what, then on the flip side, like, oh great, I sold 30 items. Crap, now I gotta sell or ship 30 items.
I think Carrie, American Arbitrage, was shipping out like 100.
Yeah.
Like every day. So, yeah. But I think you'd have to almost source for whatnot. Like, I think I would start looking at like different items, like getting it specifically for whatnot.
Yeah. Somebody commented whatnot is for speed and eBay is for top dollar. It's great point.
Yeah. Like if you want to move stuff, I guess, if you got a lot of inventory.
The flea market guys are probably doing really, really well with that. The storage unit people who like, you take out all the good stuff, put it on.
They just want to move it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I know the answer to this, but Miss Palme would like to know, Dale, did you get your Louis bag authenticated?
I did. So I used Pro Authenticators, which is like an online service, but sent them the pictures and they have deemed it to be authentic. So fingers crossed. I'm pretty sure that so anybody who doesn't know, I just did an ThreadUp designer rescue box unboxing on my channel, and there was a Louis Vuitton bag in it. I was like floored, could not believe it. It has a lot of staining on the inside, but the outside looks great. So now I'm really now the question is, do I keep the Louis Vuitton that I purchased for only like $20 to brag about how I got a Louis Vuitton for only $20? I could probably sell it pretty quickly for like $300 or $400 because of the condition, or I could list it for like $800 and use it until it sells. So that's kind of
just do that.
Yeah,
that's a win-win in all situations, really.
Yeah. That's amazing. You and I was talking about it, and it was when I first started my channel. I got a Judith Lieber trinket box. I didn't even know who she was. Dale, I don't know if you remember this because it was 2 years ago. I probably had like 500 subscribers then.
No, I totally remember.
A Goodwill jewelry box had a $400 trinket box in it, and I paid like $20 for the whole box. And it sold for like $250. So I mean, you guys can get them. Those are just that's what we live for as resellers, is to find those like needle in a haystack, but they don't come across super often. Oh, Julian beat me. Phyllis Van Warmer sent a $5 super sticker. Thank you so much. Here is your
Super chat.
I'm like waving my pen around. I don't know if that's smart or not. I'm like talking with the pen. Miss Sheila wants to know, when you have a buyer purchase with best offer that was set up to automatically accept, does eBay send them an invoice and an email? The answer is yes, they send them that. And then if they don't pay after 4 days, do you have to relist it? The answer to that is also yes. So eBay will cancel the order, but you will have to go in and actually relist it. Whoa, hold on. Okay, click it, Julian. We're clicking. Me and Julian both have clicking powers here, and we were clicking at the same time. Mama G sent a $5 super chat. I'm gonna give you your dolphin, and then we'll answer, so I don't forget your dolphin. So here is your
super chat.
So she wants to know, what is the best, easiest video editing app for beginners?
Okay, so I have an iPhone, and I was taking my videos on my iPhone, and I found iMovie to be pretty easy. Now I am using, what is it called, Kat?
Are you using Kin? Huh?
InShot.
What are you? Oh, that Carrie uses. American Arbitrage uses InShot.
And that's been pretty easy as well. But I still think that for a beginner, I would say iMovie was pretty easy.
If you're an iPhone person and not Android.
If you're an iPhone, yes.
And me and Julian, it's funny, me and Julian are both Android, and I heard Steve say he has a new iPhone. So they're like team iPhone on the bottom down there, and we're Android up here.
Yeah. Edit my videos anymore. I stopped like 4 years ago. I have a virtual assistant who does it, and you can get someone to edit for like $4 or $5 an hour on onlinejobs.ph. But if you want to edit them yourself, I have a Mac, so iMovie is great. It's really, really easy. Outside of that, I'm not really sure.
I tried like 2 or 3, and the easiest one, because I'm not very good at like computer stuff, was Filmora. I think that's like I use Filmora, Wondershare. I think it's an X or whatever the latest one is, and it's just super easy. They tell you exactly what to do. I try to use DaVinci maybe or something along those lines. Super difficult. I was like, this is insane. I don't know how to fade stuff and make stuff, and it was ridiculous. I was like, this is ridiculous. But DaVinci Resolve. That one was difficult for me. Filmora, easy, super easy.
And I use KineMaster, KineMaster, and I find that easy, but I'm not a heavy editor either. I'm like a cut, splice. Like, I know how to pop my screenshots up, and that's about the extent of my editing experience. But even that, I will tell you, without having any like editing experience, when I first started, it was hard. Like, even the cutting and splicing, and like, I remember it was hard, and I was like frustrated and wanted to throw my phone. So I don't know that easy and editing, if you have no experience, necessarily go in the same sentence.
I think that's fair.
But there are a lot of tutorials on YouTube for probably most all of these programs we're talking about that you could watch and get some help. But I don't think it's like super, super easy. Okay, I'm going to grab this, and then I see we have another super chat up there. Krause House, Sift, and Thrift, have you noticed a dip in sales? I did, until I started listing more and promoted higher, and I got more sales.
Yes. So as soon as I stop listing, I notice a dip in sales. So it really, I do think that consistency is absolutely 100% the key.
Yeah, I think the algorithm's a lot more sophisticated than we all realize. I think it's giving you more traffic. The more active you are, the more time you spend, the better your metrics are. I don't know how advanced these algorithms are, but I have a feeling that they benefit the sellers who have higher conversions. I think they're reading into everything. How many people bounce off the page? How long are they on your page? How long are they? Because why wouldn't they? Why would they not reward sellers who are creating more customers and better experiences. I mean, if I was a developer, that's the way I would build it. I don't know if that's
Absolutely.
ethical, but I mean,
Yeah.
they're a business. They're not there to like help sellers at the end of the day. They're there to like get bought. The whole purpose of eBay is to provide value to the customers. Like that's really what they care about at the end of the day. Unfortunately, that's number one. It stinks to hear as a seller, but their whole business is pretty much driven by the buyers, unfortunately.
Yeah, I actually had a really bad 2 weeks, and I was listing stuff, but I was listing things that I kind of knew. I mean, they were good, but they weren't like that good. And then I got my hands on some really good items that I knew they were high quality, very expensive. I knew they were going to sell really fast. Well, I listed those, they immediately sold, and then the 3 days after that, it was just like an onslaught of sales, just one after the other. So my conversion rate was definitely better. I had more listings the week prior, but I was selling more quality items the week after, and that week was just an explosion of energy. And it wasn't. I think it really was that I would get a view, and then I would get a sale, and then I would get
Like
a view.
sales drive more sales.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because it was like snowballing, and then when I get back to listing, I don't know, wrenches, they don't sell that fast. I mean, they sell, but the stuff I was selling was real good. So I did, but really, I just kept listing, and I just, so yes and no.
Yeah, and like I think everybody that watches me knows I run constant sales. I promote my whole store. But I wasn't listing and I wasn't getting the sales. But since I felt better and been getting listings up, and my listers are kicking my butt, and my husband's like, you knew that was going to happen at some point. Like 2 of them did over 100 drafts this week. Luckily, the third one didn't feel good. She only did 12. I'm like, I'm not complaining. Because if all of them would have hit that, like, I don't want to just be doing drafts all day. Like I miss actually listing because I typically list my higher dollar stuff, which I did as well. And yeah, so I think I'm always promoting and running sales. So I don't think just that by itself drives it. I think you need to list consistently and list good stuff. My Harley pins are selling like hotcakes on every single platform. That they're just like going crazy, and Etsy's been good too. Steve, I don't know if you saw, I got 600 Harley pens for $600, like from the 1980s till now. So my daughter's listing all of them. Like I'm paying her $2 a listing. Like we're listing them all individual. And like I had a $50 offer on one when we started the show, and I found one worth $285 in there too, which is amazing.
So can you share real quick? I don't want to interrupt the show, but like, where did you find them? And like, are they all selling for that much?
So I found them on HiBid, which is my big buying platform, which I share a lot about. I'm a big HiBid buyer, and I actually was searching for something else. And when I am paying for shipping from an auction, I'm like, let me go see what else they have if I'm already paying for shipping. And this whole auction was Harley stuff, which I was not looking for, but I got like several $500 to $600 Harley pocket watches that have sold. Harley rings. The pens on average are $10 pens, but $10 from $1 is like $6,000 in profit, not counting in these few for 30, 40, 50, $100. And like my 20-year-old's loving it because I pay her $2 a listing, and she's like, oh, these are easy, like front, back, zoom in, and she's done. So like she's loving listing them, and I'm like, if you're bored with them, I'll give you something else. She's like, no, Mom, I'm good. Just and I have like, they sent me this bag with like over 100 more that they forgot. So I didn't even know I had them. So this is all like, and it's still sitting on my desk because she's at like, I think she's listed 350 to 400. So we have like 200 more left to list, but we're shipping out like 5 to 10 of them a day. So they're going like fast. And I'm sure that's helping my algorithm as far as my other stuff too.
Definitely.
That's exciting. So, congrats.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I'm happy with them as well. Like in the patches, I got a bunch of patches too, like a bunch of stuff, a bunch. All right, Julian, hit him. Cha-ching, Scott. Scott doesn't want to feel left out, so he needs a dolphin. All right, Scott, here's your dolphin.
Super chat.
Speaking of primetime treasure hunter and whatnot and doing well on there, Dom is in the chat. Thank you, sir. $9.99 super chat. Smash that like. That's Steve. I can't even say it right because that's like not my thing that I say. Steve, you have to say it. You say it.
Smash that like button. What's up, Dom? Great to see you, man.
Thank you, Dom. Here is your dolphin. I appreciate you coming in.
Super chat.
All right. Oh, okay. Her husband's name is Charlie, just like the dolphin. If you guys missed it, we had Clara, the co-founder of List Perfectly, on with us a couple weeks ago. And not only did she match donations for kids hurt in a school bus here for me, she matched you guys dollar for dollar for me. She also named the dolphin Charlie that night. So the dolphin is now Charlie.
That's
as
great.
named by Clara. So Robin, here is Charlie the dolphin for you and your husband. Here you go.
Super chat.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Miss Angela, and I'm going to assume what she means by this. She says she's newer sub to me channel. She's happy to see Steve. So she's obviously been watching Steve for a while. He's a good guy. Question, in light of recent events, I'm going to assume these events are going to mean Chris being banned from eBay. That is what I'm going to assume that is to mean. So in light of that, she's thinking of cross-posting. What platform do you suggest? I will tell you it really depends on what you're selling. So I cross-post to Etsy if it's $20 or more and it's vintage. And then everything goes on to Facebook Marketplace and Poshmark. Everything. Poshmark has a home section. They have a jewelry section. So that's how I do it. And I would agree that you should not have all eggs in one basket. And I was talking about this last week, that if I got banned off eBay, I would become very wordy and figure out how to keyword and tag on Etsy. And I bet you I could bring it home on there if I wanted to. I don't have the urge right now. I don't have that fire under me to do it. So I just do really basic, but we still are making several hundred in sales a week. So I would say it really, really depends on what you're selling. You know, if you're vintage, then I would go for Etsy, especially if you're unlike me and will do wordy descriptions and tags and all the extra stuff. Poshmark, I've done well with vintage and my breakable stuff, believe it or not, and obviously clothes and purses on Poshmark. And then Facebook, the Harley pins are flying off Facebook. Harley shirts and clothing has flown on Facebook for me, so more trendy stuff. And I like, there's also, like I said, I could get back into Amazon too if I had to. I promise you, if eBay shut me down, I would find another way. Like, you're not going to stop me. eBay is my number one right now. Dale, what would you like as far as the other? I know you're mainly on just eBay and Poshmark, right?
Correct. Yeah. But yeah, I would probably ramp up on Facebook Marketplace. I typically only list the items that are too big to ship, and I do local Facebook Marketplace. I for some reason, I haven't gotten into posting everything on Facebook Marketplace for shipping, but that's probably the second place I would go.
Yeah. You know, as mentioned previously, depends on what you're selling. That's the biggest thing, because I mean, if you're selling vintage clothing, obviously you're going to want to go to Etsy. You're going to want to look at Poshmark. If you're selling a lot of electronics and random things like that, then you might want to look at Facebook Marketplace or Mercari or wherever. I mean, I don't sell on a lot of those platforms. I'm mostly eBay, Amazon, and Facebook Marketplace. But Amazon's great. I know a lot of people are scared to sell on Amazon, but Amazon is pretty much the largest marketplace. It is a different beast, as Kat was mentioning before, but you know,
I think once you get past that initial, it's the initial learning and the different platform, and then it's not horrible. It just wasn't my style. That was my thing.
I agree with you too. And like, Amazon's a lot more boring than eBay and Facebook. Like, you don't get to have that experience of like having that connection with the buyer, and kind of, you're like on eBay and other platforms, like you're entangled in that product. Like, you're touching it, you're storing it, you're shipping it, like you're talking to the customers, you're taking pictures. On Amazon, it's very automated. You know, you buy it, you list it, you don't even have to take pictures, you ship it, and you're done. So, and there's a lot more rules. So I think it's really important that we all do something that we enjoy. It's not all about the money. You know, the money's only going to take you so far, unless that's your main motivation, which is fine, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all have literally covered everything. I agree with everything everybody just said.
Yeah, what they said.
What they said.
I'm going to grab this, and then I see a member. I just want to put this up there. Sheila said that we inspire her, and I'm going to assume my 2 jewelry research videos that I put out the last couple weeks. She bought a $30 jewelry set and sold it on eBay for $345. So that is amazing. They are out there. I found a $250 set for $20 at the flea market, guys. They are out there. You just have to educate yourself and learn them. So when they're in front of you, you actually know what they are. That's the big thing. All right, Julian. Miss Pam Davis became a member. Thank you, ma'am, for joining. Here is your dolphin.
Welcome to the Flipping family.
All right. Tim says, I've been having a lot less success on Mercari compared to eBay percentage-wise. He wants to know, how about us, and any advice unique to listing on Mercari?
I'm not sure. Like, I stopped listing on Mercari just because it was an added complication in my part-time reselling adventure that I decided it just wasn't worth the effort for me. So I really can't answer.
yeah, I don't sell on Mercari. I actually just buy items on Mercari that I flip on Amazon. And I don't know if I'll ever be selling on Mercari after watching some videos on YouTube.
I have one of those.
Yeah, I don't sell on there anymore. When I did, it seemed like I would only sell the item within the first like 3 weeks or a month, and after that, it just seemed like on eBay you still sell like older items. You know, you might have some for a year and it still sells. But on Mercari, it was real weird. Like, if it didn't sell for the first 3 weeks, I knew it was never going to sell. That was my quick.
Wow.
I didn't sell on there very long either. Only like maybe 6 months, and then a year ago. But I haven't sold on there in a long time. So
Yeah, and I have a video that has been viewed a lot of times saying that Mercari stole my money because Mercari accused me of selling fraudulent items when I don't even sell like popular name brands and stuff. They locked my account, erased all my listings, held my funds, and I had sold $18,000 on there in the last year. So I was not a new seller, not new to the platform. They pissed me off. I stopped selling on there. I do not recommend anybody sell on there because of that. They apologized to me and gave me my account back. So I do have the ability, and I just I'm not using it. I don't want it back after that. And I think it took like my subscribers emailing them and bugging the crap out of them to get them to say, hey, we're sorry, and give me my account back. And I have chosen not to use it. So I did okay. It was actually my lowest platform though. Like eBay was first, then Poshmark, then Facebook, then Mercari. So Mercari was always my lowest. So to me, it wasn't a big hit. And I just replaced it with Etsy is what I chose to do.
Can I bring up a controversial question?
Yeah,
Sure.
Because I'd love to hear you guys' feedback.
we're all about controversy.
Yeah, you know what happened with, obviously everybody knows, with Chris getting kicked off eBay and all that stuff. Do you think with him being such a really big reseller and a positive force in the community, like, do you think that they're going to try to give his account back, or do you think it's like, it's too big, it's like whatever, he's gone?
That's what Dale thinks about that.
Dale just left. She was like, I'm not answering that question.
She hit the button again. She hit the button again.
Did I mention the watch? Did I say something about a watch or something?
I'm gonna.
How did I do that again? Like, I'm out.
I didn't mean to offend you. I asked for permission for the controversial question. You know,
You did all the right things. Yeah, I just feel like it's such a tough one. I'm not sure. Like, it would almost discredit their authority if they do that, because he's been so like, yes, they did this, and yes, I was wrong, kind of thing. So it's almost like if they take that back, it's like, well, then what are the rules there for? So I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, I think that eBay is a big monster, and he had a very large account. He's very influential. I watch a lot of his videos, but they're still gigantic. They're huge. They have a lot of money, and so it would be like a $1 million person dropping off of Amazon. Maybe a little bit less. They said it's over. I don't think that he's going back no matter what. But even if they did give it back, I don't think he would go back. Well, that's kind of what he said. But I would say no. I would say that eBay probably won't take that back.
Yeah, and I don't think that they would either. I think the big thing was having all of these high dollar, high value items without a receipt or proof because you bought a private collection. So, I mean, like looking at it from their standpoint, we've got somebody selling all of these high dollar items that doesn't have a receipt and can't prove that they're doing it, So, I mean, could it happen to any of us? Yeah. And like the receipts don't, like our estate auction and receipts, those aren't from a manufacturer. So it's very likely they wouldn't accept those if they asked for them. Like Dale's Louis Vuitton, if they asked her and she produced a ThredUp receipt, that's not going to work. That's not going to work as a proof of purchase. So I think it's kind of a weighted and calculated risk. If you get your account to 500,000 or $1 million in sales, are you going to get looked at more and be like, how are they getting this millions and millions of dollars of inventory? Where is it coming from? And I think that's a hard thing. I hope I'm assuming Chris has a backup plan, and I know a few people that are in his Discord and have heard like he's got different stuff in the work. And if he's like I am, he will not go back because I'm like but I think all of us need to be prepared for that. Does the everyday seller need to be worried about that? I don't think so, because you're not selling 500,000 or $1 million in sales. If you get to that point, then yeah, you're probably going to have to start thinking like, I'm not buying these from an authorized retailer. I'm buying these from collections and from people. And like one of the big things for me with like shoes and all this popular stuff is like there's all the looting going on right now, like from Amazon trains, and like they're having to worry like where is this stuff coming from, and so yeah. So I mean, I can like I would be pissed. I can't lie. Like I'd be like hot, just like I was with Mercari. But I can see the flip side to that. Most of my stuff is luckily like 20 years old or older, and I would hope they wouldn't ask me for a new receipt, but they might. You never know.
They might. Yeah.
You never know.
Just give them a piece of paper that's blank.
Yeah.
Here's my receipt. So yeah. I don't think they'll I don't think they'll backtrack. I don't think they will. Do you think they will, Steve? What's your opinion on it?
Yeah.
Gosh, to be honest, I don't know. It's as good as your guys' opinion. I really don't know, but he's influenced a lot of people. He's helped a lot of people to sell on eBay, and him getting kicked off.
I know a lot of people that use his method, like that love his method.
Yeah, he's like one of the smartest eBay sellers like I ever knew. Like I would always shout him out in my videos and stuff. But yeah, I don't know what type of impact this is going to have on like other sellers. And I'm curious in the comments, has this affected you guys at all? Have you been thinking like, oh, maybe I need to sell on other platforms, or maybe I'm not going to sell on eBay? I don't think there's any need to panic really, unless you're selling high risk items. I'll be honest, my Amazon business is built on a volcano because I sell a lot of DVDs. And those are like, a lot of them could be fake, bootlegged. Like I have a whole process to make sure they're not. But things could slide through the cracks. Like if you're selling purses, or if you're selling high-end clothing or certain sneakers like Chris, like if they call your card and you don't have those manufacturer slips, I mean, a lot of the people on Amazon that do retail arbitrage or online arbitrage, sometimes they don't even accept those receipts from like the actual retail store. They want like a real wholesale invoice. And it's like, sometimes you do have to make the decision like, okay, I understand my business is on a volcano. It could explode at any time. I'm going to take advantage of this as much as I can, be ethical, be honest, have my processes to make sure it's legit. But if you're going to play in that sandbox, then something could happen. So,
Yeah.
Right.
And I have been getting the comments. I have had people worried because of what happened. And I really don't think like for an average seller that it's always there. It's always there no matter how little or how much you're selling. That possibility is always there on any platform, which is why I'm big about like I'm gonna have multiple streams of income coming in. eBay is definitely the biggest one. But like I said, I could get real good at Poshmark or Etsy if I needed to. I don't have the urge to right now, but if I had to, I could. So yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's like you said, it's the big fish in the pond where like I'd be such a little guppy in that pond. It's not really worth going after
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Julian, click that and then I'll get a question. Mr. Christopher, I buy chit. 1999 super chat, just here to show support and say hello. Thank you, Mr. Christopher. Mr. Christopher is always supportive. I appreciate you. Here is your dolphin.
Super chat.
I forget what the
I don't
dog's name
know.
is. What was the dog's name?
Oh gosh, I forgot the dog's name. He
forgot,
told
yeah.
us last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Chris, you have to tell us the dog's name again. I don't know. I know I cannot answer this. Cindy's asking, how would you recommend I get into sourcing higher end video games without having to own all or several gaming systems to make sure the games work? Can any of us answer this?
I don't know if there's a way around that. I think that if that's what you want to do, then you've got to invest in the systems to be able to test.
Or you could just not test them and then get negative feedback and get your account restricted because it'll
I don't
probably
like that
happen
plan.
eventually. One or the other.
Yeah, one or the other on that one. I mean, test them or you don't. But if you don't high-end ones, yeah, you're definitely going to get a lot of returns if they don't work and negative feedbacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I don't do a lot of video games, kid you not, because I was starting to like get some and I can't test them. I don't have consoles. I don't want to get into that. And
Yeah.
video game people are what I've noticed on eBay, they're very picky.
Yeah.
More picky than golf club people. And I was like, this is insane. So I don't do a lot of video games.
Yeah. Camille wants to know how we like to photograph clothing, hats, or shoes. So like, what are we using or how are we doing it when we're doing it?
So just white backdrops, good lighting, and you know, for the hats, I do want to get like a styrofoam head. I haven't gotten one yet. And shoes, I did get like little inserts so that like if they have an ankle strap, it like photographs well.
Oh, I have that. I have a fake plastic foot.
Yeah. So there's a few little
Kinda
things, but
creepy.
otherwise, but generally, you know, white background and good lighting.
Yeah, for clothes, I like using the dress form mannequin. Those always give a little bit of that 3D dimensional feature when you're taking a picture against a white background, good light. For any smaller items, I like to use a couple of years back, I bought a photography cube. I think it was by Amazon Basics. I think they're about $150, but it's a cube. You can even make your own. There's YouTube videos how to make your own photography cube, but it's just got white walls all around it. There's lights like inside and it comes out perfect.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to get away from clothing because I really don't like taking pictures of it because it's to me, it's difficult. You got to move it around, then you got to, but my biggest thing is for hats, I have a foam head, seems to work perfectly, and good lighting. And shoes are actually, I don't mind taking pictures of shoes. I always recommend really, really good lighting on shoes because it'll show them really good. And then I use the background to lead on the one I use, but other than that, just good lighting.
And I do flat lay on everything, so it actually goes on the carpet right behind me because there's a fluorescent light there. The lighting's good. And then hats go on the styrofoam head and shoes go in the photo box, basically. And that's how I do mine. I think we answered this already. Kraus House, Sift, and Thrift. Do any of you get negative comments on YouTube? And if so, what do you do?
Oh yeah. I think if you're posting on YouTube, you're going to get negative comments and you have to like let it roll off your back. I don't know.
I give every single one a personal phone call, and I ask them to explain in full what exactly do you mean after I show them my tax return and my social security number. Works every time.
Yeah. I knock on their door.
Yeah, you just can't take it personally. That's my best advice. And they roll in a lot.
The more views you get, the more the comments come. Like for me, if it's negative towards me or my family in a personal attack, they are hidden from my channel forever. They will never make another comment on my videos. I have like a zero tolerance for that, especially when it comes to Dalton. I'm just not going to allow that. And as far as if it's constructive criticism, but negative, I will eat it and like take it to heart. And most times I will respond. Lately with my research videos, the pronunciation comments are over the top. And that depends on how somebody says it. If they tell me I must in capital letters learn how to pronounce it, I have hid them from my channel instead of telling them I must not, because I'm still doing videos and mispronouncing. And I'm not doing it on, I know some people that do it on purpose just to get the comments. I do not do that. But if you're nice about it, then I'm like, okay, and I just leave it. Those aren't negative though. It's people trying to help me. It just depends on how they're trying to help me. But I used to pen them and let my fans go at them. I used to put them at the top and be like, okay, I'm going to let all my people go at them. But now, now I just, if it's really mean towards myself or Dalton, they are hidden from the channel. And I do get them very, very randomly. They don't want him in there. So I know they're not a regular viewer because he's like the reason I started my YouTube and being home. So if they knew me, they would know like he's why I do this. So he's definitely not going to be taken out of my videos. But yeah, you can't take it personal. I used to let it upset me. I don't anymore. I'm like, okay, bye. See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. I love to mispronounce Christian Louboutin. Is it? I would say like Laboutier. Like I make it way more complicated than it needs to be. That's one that I'm really good at butchering.
Yeah. And like I said, I know people that do it just to like irritate people. They're like, oh, let me go mispronounce this just to make the people not happy. Julie's asking, how do you like the new listing platform? I'm assuming she means the video one. I haven't tried it. Has anybody tried the new, like, I haven't seen a difference is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I think that I heard somebody else talking about it, and I don't know what new listing platform, so I'm clueless.
Julian?
No idea.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Hi, Margaret. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate you. Carol wants to know, where did I buy my she shed? This is like a massive she shed that I'm in right now. It's 12 by 40 with triple lofts. It's bigger than people's tiny houses. This one I had custom made that I'm sitting in, and it was Amish built in Georgia. I'm in Florida, and I custom ordered it by my like dimensions and colors. And it was just like one of the shed places on Facebook Marketplace. I just went and found ones I liked. This one's all wood. My other 12 by 24 is all metal, and I like the wood better. And then I got the spray foam. You can see the spray foam insulation in some of my videos. I decided not to. It was like, okay, do I want to spend $2,000 making it look pretty when I'm really just working in here? And I decided not to. So I use that money on other stuff. And then we have a third that should be here in about 2 weeks. Brad is getting a woodworking shed that we are also getting custom built. That one's going to be 14 by 24. He wanted it wider because it's going to be a woodworking shop. And same thing. We just went to like, you know, you see sheds on the side of the road, and we just went there. But we like the wood ones better. We feel like the wood ones are better built. And we have one metal one, but I like the wood ones better.
How did you get electricity and all that? Like,
so like this one, the first one, my husband just ran, like we just ran a cord, the metal one. This one, I had an electrician come out. I think it was like $350 to run it from like my house power box to here.
Oh, wow.
And then now where his woodworking shop is going is a little bit further. So that one's probably going to be like $700 or $800. This one came with a box. So like they didn't have to wire in here. I chose where the like outlets and everything went, and they just had to run it to the box to this shed. So I had it like all pre-wired when I had it made. But the other one is gonna, it's crazy because like the shed itself wasn't super expensive, but like the spray foam insulation's $2,500, which if you want to protect your inventory in Florida with heat and humidity, you need insulation. And then I got it carpeted because we don't have any carpet in our house. So it's funny. This is the only place there's carpet on our property is in the shed. I'm like, I want carpet. And I basically decided for carpet versus doing like paneling. Cause like I said, I'm like, all I'm doing in here is working, so I don't have to have it. But yeah, the power is probably going to be like $1,000, I bet, to get out to his. And people don't think about that. You have to buy the shed and then you have to go and get all of this. Like, I think this one was probably over $5,000 for like all the extra stuff that I had to get done. But I don't have a storage locker, like I don't have any monthly fees. It's on my property. And yeah, like we have a window unit.
And is that something that like, what's that called when you like build a structure in your backyard? It's like a 3-letter thing. Is this something that you have to get like approved for the town? Is it like
you don't have to get a building permit because it's constructed off-site, but you have to get like a permit to put it on the property. Like we have 11 acres. So like you don't need it's a cheaper permit sheds because it's built off-site. I can get lots of sheds. I can get lots and lots.
That's a business idea. It's kind of like you've heard with Airbnb, the glamping, what they're doing. They're building like these tiny little cabins or little sheds.
Well, you could do, like I said, this could be like a 3-bedroom house for somebody.
You should build like 10 of them on your property, rent them out to resellers. You have endless eBay content, podcast.
So my son, this is funny because my son rents, I have a house that's right next door and he rents it. And if/when he decides to go somewhere other than my property, I'm going to do an Airbnb for resellers and like make like a training studio in there.
Wow.
So, but I don't know when or if he's going to go anywhere because, it's cheaper than anywhere else he can go. It's on an acre though. It's on an acre. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath on an acre. And I'm like, I could have 2 Airbnb rooms, make a training room. Yeah. Like I will do it. I'm not in the one he's in. I'll actually like upgrade it and then get that done. But yeah. Okay. This question, I would like Steve to touch on this as far as the Amazon side of it. They're asking how many returns do you generally get, and do you give partial refunds or wait for the buyer? So that's mainly an eBay question. But Steve, like when it gets to you, if you could cover like Amazon returns and like A to Z claims and stuff like that, I think that might help some.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, Amazon deals with all of it. When you sell through Amazon FBA, I mean, pretty much if somebody wants to return an item, they're going to get their money back, and Amazon's just going to send them a label. The same with like all the other claims and different things. Like on Amazon, they're getting their money back 100%. My refund rate right now is less than 5%. Last time I checked, it was around 4% for DVDs, which I was shocked. When I started scaling my DVD business, I thought it would be closer to like 8 or 9%, similar to some clothing and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty low. Most people are pretty happy. It's all automated. That's the thing I like about Amazon FBA is they store your items, they pick your items, they pack them, they ship them, they answer customer questions, they deal with customer service, they send customers a label. And I mean,
that sounds beautiful.
It's nice, but it's a little scary sometimes when you sell like a $200-$300 item. I sell like my average order on Amazon is close to $50. Like most of my items, like DVDs, are like they're new, rare DVDs and board games. I sell a lot of new sealed board games. I sell a lot of books on there. And it's just a higher number. I go after higher item things, but yeah, the returns are somewhat nasty, especially Lego. I just had, I sold a box of Legos I sourced off of eBay for I think 150. I sold it for $450 on Amazon. New sealed, beautiful, like everything was beautiful. They returned it, and the way it works with returns on Amazon is when an item gets returned, Amazon will inspect the item, and if the item is considered to be in the same condition it was sold, they'll put it back in the inventory. But I have a system that's set up where anytime there's a return, I just have it pulled and sent back to me because I don't trust Amazon. And I got this item back. Literally, it was like smashed to pieces. They like kicked it to pieces, and Amazon still gave them the refund. So it's part of business. Amazon's pretty cutthroat with returns.
Yeah. That doesn't sound like fun.
Dale's like, wait a minute.
I was
like,
up, now I'm down. I was up, now I'm down.
Yeah, I'll wait on that one, she's thinking.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't get too many returns, and definitely wait for the buyer to send the item back before giving any refund.
Yes.
And I typically give full refunds, but Kat helped me with a partial refund. I sold a brand new Sony PlayStation 5, and it was that through eBay, sold it local, met the guy, so excited, pays for it through the eBay app, and then like 3 days later says he wants to return it. So I said, well, then you have to go through eBay and return it. So they made him ship it back to me, even though he's local. So that made him, have to find a box and get it back to me. So he did get it back to me, but now I have an opened PlayStation 5. So I'm ticked. And so I read the guidelines and I deducted 30% from his refund. And so I got to keep 30%. And then he opened a case with eBay and eBay refunded him. But they
refund out of their pocket, though. It's
right,
a top-rated seller
so like
protection.
basically we both won because I kept 30% and then he got his 30% back from eBay.
But not out of her pocket, at least.
Yeah.
eBay started that like a year and a half ago. So like you don't have to refund shipping. If the buyer complains, eBay pays it out of their pocket.
As long as you're a
top-rated seller.
Yes.
That's a top-rated seller protection. Yeah, it's nice.
So
I never...
Why do you return it? It was
He said that a button on the controller didn't work, but we tested it and it worked. So I think he had buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
I don't get that many returns. Probably, I would say, I think probably 2%, probably somewhere around there, maybe not even. And do I give partial refunds? No. Unless it's my fault or I knew I did something wrong, usually I return the entire thing. If I sent the wrong item or something, usually if it's my fault, I give a full refund. I had, in the beginning, a lot of people were like, hey, this doesn't work. I want $50 back or something. I used to do stuff like that. And then I was like, that is so dumb. What? No, I have free returns. Like, what am I doing? Like, send it back to me. And then I'll give you all your money back. I want my item back. And that's where I'm at in life now, is that if it's my mess up or my mistake, then yes, you'll get your full refund and you'll get to keep the item in your hand. And, trust, because it's my fault. But no, if I send you something and you just don't like it, or a lot of the golf club doesn't hit correctly. No, I want my item back. And I'll give you all your money back when I get it. So I've had that a lot recently. The golf club doesn't hit correctly.
Wait, you're not testing out the golf clubs first? You're not swinging it on the course, making sure it's,
that it hits right.
It doesn't hit right. My golf club always hits to the right, and that's what I always tell them. It does hit to the right. It's normal.
I only have one return open right now, and it actually was my fault. It was one of my expensive Harley watches, and the hour hand is missing. So it's probably a collector's watch, not intended to use. And the buyer's actually cool about it. They won 2 of my high dollar ones, and they're like, look, it's going to cost $60 to fix, and it was $100 watch. I'm like, I think I can get that money out of it, even with it being broken. I would like it back. I told them I could give them like $30 or $40 towards it, but they wanted it all, and they were actually cool about it. They're like, no, you didn't know. I don't think that you knew that was the issue. But so they're sending it back, but they kept the other high dollar watch they won. They weren't like, no hard feelings. I told them, hey, I didn't know, but I can't justify giving that all back because it's a collector's watch, and I'll put it back up on auction with that disclosed this time, but I'll still start it at $100. And I probably, it's like a watch that's been sold 4 times in 10 years. So I think I can still get $100 without the hour hand, either from a collector that wants to display it or somebody that wants to, buys it knowing that they have to put that money in. So that was their issue, is they didn't expect, and I will give them a full refund because that was my fault, but I owned it. I'm not gonna lie and say that they did. I didn't notice there was no hour hand on the watch,
But they didn't notice it either in your pictures.
No, they didn't either. Neither one of us did in the photos. I mean, it was, but they were super nice about it. And that's my only one. So I only have less than 0.5% on returns, and I do free 30-day. Tanya Coral, when you use Photo Room, do you have to use the pro version? I use the free version and it distorts the edges. I think you don't. I'm going to go ahead and answer this. You don't have to have it, but I think we all have it because you can do 50 images at once and it's like a mega time saver. With Art Glass, I have noticed you need a crisp picture. If your camera is lower quality or your lighting isn't good, that's when Photo Room has issues with the edges. But I've noticed if I have bright lighting and I'm in focus really good, that Photo Room will pick up the edges. So I would look at that. Here, Mama G is saying that she's heard of people not being able to comment like that and saying they have to create a new YouTube account or cancel their membership and rejoin. A couple other people were saying they had that issue on Misty, Thrifter Junker, Vintage Hunter, and Yvonne's channel, which sucks. So I know of 2, Susie and Terry, that were having that issue. And I hate that I have no control over it. We have we don't deal with the back door aspects of Amazon. Miss Anita, and I know the answer to this. I don't know. We'll see if anybody else does. We can go around. She said she sent offers to buyers on 3 watchers and it came back no qualified buyers. What's happening?
I'm not sure. Maybe you already sent the offers to the people who are the watchers. I'm not sure.
What do you mean by qualified buyers?
That's if sometimes
I know the answer to this
offer,
question.
then you get this message that there's no qualified buyers.
Yeah,
it doesn't won't send any offers. Then
it won't send it. Julian, do you know?
I don't, but this happens to me a lot, and I never know why it does it, and I'm always
you want me to tell you all?
Yeah,
I'll tell all of you.
I was gonna guess, but I have no idea.
So it's not because you already sent it. It's because if you have it blocked of people for non-paying bidders, that you won't allow them to buy from you, the people that watched your item that you're trying to send offers to have non-paying bidder strikes, and they're not qualified because you're not allowing them to buy from you. So you can't send the offer to them. Or if it is somebody you have blocked from bidding from you, then they are not qualified. So I had somebody semi-stalking my eBay, harassing me, and I blocked him. Dale, I don't know if you remember this. Julian, you too. You were around when all this happened.
Mm-hmm.
Guy was super, super stalker. Somebody even did a YouTube video on him because it was not just me he was stalking.
Yeah.
So he was watching all my items. So I'd have 50 offers and none of them were qualified because it was all him. So if you have blocked them, or if you have blocked people who don't pay, then the people watching are people that are not paying.
Wow.
Miss Hillary, I haven't heard of this. Has anybody heard of USPS having another slowdown?
I have not.
No idea. 50% of my stuff now is UPS.
Miss Hillary. I did when I went to camp. Miss Hillary actually came to my first eBay camp. She was in Orlando with us. When I went to camp, I changed mine to 2-day handling, and I've left it. That way, if we're busy one day, we don't have to get all the orders out. Then yeah. I think this was when I was answering that. I'm gonna say I do not use Mercari as a platform.
Nope.
Reigning Retro in North Carolina has a question for Steve. How can you tell which edition a book is?
Sometimes it'll say inside the first couple of pages. I typically look for it. I don't sell a lot of older vintage books, but a lot of times what I do is I'll just look up the ISBN or scan the cover with the Amazon Seller app and see what listing it pulls up as. Sometimes on the front cover, it'll show it somewhere as well. But I guess I really haven't come into any issues with that.
Sorry, my internet is being ridiculous. Heidi Hose, how do each of us handle valid item not as described requests? Like they say they got a pair of broken socks, as eBay doesn't allow you to deny that request.
Yeah, I mean, it's an unfortunate part of doing business. Like I haven't been able to get around it, and it hasn't happened often enough for me to throw in the towel.
Yeah, same here. I mean, certain things are out of your control. You just have to go with the flow, try to communicate with the buyer. But, one of the things that I try to focus on as I get older is not allowing myself to get too stressed out over things I can't change and focus on the big picture. There's no business out there where there's not going to be a small percentage that you get screwed on,
Yeah,
sure.
So
true.
Yeah, same thing. They just said I do not get that many that's like even in the realm of my thinking. Now, have I got it before? Yeah, I can't really remember any off the top of my head, but I don't even, if it happens, it happens. And you're right, it just automates, then they send it back or they don't, and then it closes in 750 days.
Yeah, I mean, I don't handle it anyways. I accept it, relist it, and move on. If they sent something, like you can still deduct that 30% if they sent you, like if it was a new unopened item, like if they sent you back opened stuff, you can deduct that 30% from their return if you're a top rated seller. So you can still deduct it from them. I typically just give full refund. I have boxes of returns not opened. They could have sent me a box of rocks and I wouldn't know. I'm not gonna lie, I'm horrible. That's one system that I need to get like in place, that I like. Brad lets them pile up in the truck and then I pile them in the shed. And Vanessa says she has a question for Steve. I've been approved for Amazon. What is a tip for sourcing books? I tried it, just seems too time consuming. Maybe I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah, so I have a lot of different ways that I source books. One of the ways that I always recommend to people who are new is to put out ads like we were talking about before. Does anybody here use Nextdoor app?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's not in my area. I'm very rural. I would have to create it for my area.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm on there.
But I recommend right now it's getting really, really competitive at thrift stores. Obviously we're also lucky to be living in an age where information is so easily spread, but the game is like completely changed with books at thrift stores. You can still make a lot of money, but there's like so many people scanning now because it's so easy that I would think outside the box. So most resellers are just like one trick ponies, unfortunately, and they just go to a thrift store or just go to a garage sale. But if you're willing to think outside the box, putting out wanted ads, building relationships with libraries, talking to managers at thrift stores to get backroom access, that's huge. You can source books off of Amazon, off of eBay. There's a lot of different ways to source books. So I would probably start first and foremost by going to thrift stores just to experience it, just to learn, but it's so hit or miss. Booksalefinder.com is a great website for library sales. Those are starting to open back up again. So those are a couple of tips. But yeah, I agree. I mean, it's very time consuming. As a bookseller, you have to learn how to use the tools appropriately. Making sure that you have a Bluetooth scanner, making sure that you have a good app, because 95% of the books you come across are going to be trash. So you have to be able to like scan through books quickly. I could scan anywhere from 500 to 800 books an hour if I'm moving. And again, sometimes if someone like myself is at the thrift store, or someone like one of you guys who have a lot of knowledge, like if you're at the thrift store before me, just pretending that you guys were booksellers, it's going to be wiped out. So, I mean, it's hit or miss sometimes. You got to get lucky, but that's why, as we've all been talking about, diversify the different niches, diversify the platforms, learn about, clothing and shoes and books and, Harley pins and all that stuff, because you don't know when you're going to come across that opportunity. And just like with Kat, I mean, she's got like $6,000 worth of value now with just one find. Like those don't come across every single day. I don't know if anyone ever saw the video I posted on my YouTube channel. I had a GoPro strapped up. I went into a thrift store, and it was on a Saturday afternoon, and I wasn't finding anything at garage sale. So I went to the thrift store. My mom called me. She's like, I'm over here. I'm finding so many books. She found like a $200 book, $100 book. And I was like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to come say hello. And I was a little jealous. And next thing you know, at Goodwill, this is all documented. They pulled out a bin of brand new sealed Legos, a stack of like 40 of them, all from like 5-6 years old, all 100% sealed, between $10 and $15 each. Every single one was selling for like $200 to $400. Like some were selling for like 80 or 90.
That's crazy.
I was like, get out of my way. I had to get a cart, and I ran over and I just stacked them all up. I had to get 2 carts full of like the big box Legos. And I was like, that's crazy. Like those never but you can get lucky doing this if you know about different things. And the looks I was getting on the faces from the resellers, because they're just like, yeah, I left one behind to be a nice guy.
That was nice.
Throw the bone.
Yeah. Yeah, and Steve probably didn't see it, but I bought hundreds of crab brooches, and I paid $2 a piece, and multiple sold for $200, $300, $400. And that's another high bid buy. That's why I like buying lots. And that was luck. I didn't know what the heck I was buying. They were in little plastic baggies. I couldn't see them, but it was like I hit the jackpot on them. And like, that's why like the Harley pins now, I'm like, there might be a $300, $400 one in there. So like, I love the lots. The crab brooches was just like insane. I like Christian Dior. So the auction company pulled all the precious metals. They pulled all the silver and gold, but they didn't look at the brands on the costume jewelry. And there were like high end, and I actually lost like 6 lots. And I'm like, man, if I would have known what was in them lots, like I wouldn't have lost them. But I'll never find that again. I'm never going to find it again, but man,
it's like the ever elusive pink puppy now.
Yeah, that thing doesn't
Dale
exist.
sold a Build-A-Bear pink puppy for $1,200, Steve, that she paid $4 at a garage sale, and she found 2 of them.
Yeah, the other one sold for $700, I think.
Wait, what is this thing?
Literally, the Build-A-Bear store that's like in the mall. Yeah. They're collectors. And there are some that are highly collectible. I was at a garage sale, saw all these Build-A-Bears, and I went on eBay and looked at solds, sorted from high to low, and was like, I know I've seen that one, and it had sold for $600. I was like, I don't know if it's money laundering, if it's real or not. And I posted it for sale by auction, and within minutes, I had people messaging me saying, like, can I just buy it now for $300? Like, I'll buy it now for $500. And I was like, no, I think I'm going to let it go to auction and see what happens. And the second one was only at $400 with like 10 seconds to go. And then all of a sudden it went up to $1,225. I was floored.
That's insane.
That is amazing. I'm curious. Congrats on that. I'm curious, guys. How often have you come across something that you didn't know was as valuable as you eventually found out, and you had people hitting you up behind the scenes? Like, have you ever had that happen where you're like, oh, I am onto something? I don't know.
Just the auctions. I think because of my Chinese roundels were the same way. I paid $1 and one sold for $1,500, one sold for $1,700. This was just like 3 weeks ago. I got them in an auction lot, and I put them up for $99 starting bid. I saw some had sold for $3,000. I'm like, do I have that? Do I not? And I had offers up to $800 or $900 within 3 minutes. I had like 15 offers to end the auction. I'm like, same thing as Dell. I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, this is going the 7 days. Like, I'm not ending this. And they $1,500 and $1,700 from $1 each investment, which is crazy. But it's researching and knowing, like, we knew to put it on auction, and then we know enough to not take those offers, because if you get all these offers in 5 minutes, like, that's something you better leave on auction. Like, you don't take those offers and run.
Just like you said with books, though, Stephen, like 95% of the Build-A-Bears that you find out there are going to be junk. They're going to sell for
probably
like
99%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There are just a few that are highly collectible and that people are looking for them.
Yeah,
Crazy.
for sure. I'm going to get this question from Scott, and then I see a super chat from Mr. Clay. I know his logo up there. Scott wants to know, where do each of us want to be in 5 years, and what are long-term business goals?
I'm honestly going to pass because I'm starting a new job on Monday.
I just got her to switch jobs at least. She wasn't happy in her other job. I couldn't make her full-time resell, but we got her moved to a new job.
Yes, I'm starting a new job. So honestly, like, yeah, I'm going to be more focused on that than on reselling in the next few years. But I am making 30% more than I was.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, for me, honestly, like I enjoy what I do right now. Like, you know, my sales are around $20,000 a month, and like I'm cool. Maybe like it'll be up to $40,000 or $50,000 a month at that point. But for me, like I'm comfortable just running like a middle-sized reselling business, having a YouTube channel where I could impact, you know, new sellers and intermediate sellers. I don't really have any goals of like being a big shot or anything. Like I just want to keep making money, investing in real estate, maybe getting into Airbnb. And I don't know. For me, I just like the simple life. I get to resell, I get to make videos, I get to interact with the community, invest in real estate, and that's pretty much my plan. Just keep growing every year, and you know, for me, live a life that's not super stressful. Something I enjoy, something that I get to spend time with people that I enjoy, and yeah, just have the freedom. That's the biggest reason I love reselling and YouTube and all that stuff. It's the freedom and the impact that you can make with it. So I know it sounds corny, but yeah.
No, that's what we say that all the time.
Yeah, because this question, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, and I think I said it was the
Yeah.
same thing. I was like, I actually have no idea. I really enjoy what I'm doing. I'm sure that I will grow, you know, hopefully on YouTube and definitely on eBay. I do different avenues. I like storage lockers. I like going to yard sale. I like all that stuff. In 5 years, I'm definitely gonna be doing the same thing, obviously. But I really have no idea. Like I really like my long-term goal is do what I'm doing now, just a little bit more or a little bit more efficient, have more knowledge, pick up
Yeah.
things that are worth more. You know, every day I'm learning something new. Like I just bought a whole bunch of stuff I had no idea about. So I'm learning every day about stuff.
Yeah.
So just more knowledge, keep doing what I'm doing, and keep having fun. And definitely the freedom that this gives you is you do whatever you want.
Yeah. For me, if my son is gone, would like to do my little Airbnb. I would like to invest in some real estate as well, with like doing some Airbnbs probably versus like long-term rentals. I have my listers are down. They are kicking my butt. So at this point, I need somebody that I can kind of train to price or trust enough to price. That's not me. And it's letting go of that control. And then I would like to train somebody to ship to. I would like to have somebody where I can leave and like go do my reseller training camps if I want to, and my eBay business not stop, you know? So like almost have a manager over all of this. And that, again, like my daughter's in college, so that I don't at this point foresee her wanting to do that. So she's doing well with listing, but she's not wanting to like learn more stuff. My daughter-in-law is who is doing more listings for me. So that's a possibility. But I would like to be able, I said I wanted to just source, but after not listing for 2 weeks, I miss listing. So I still want to list.
Yeah.
You like a variety.
I would like to be able to step away and take a week vacation and not have to put my store on vacation mode to still, you know, function, like have my business keep functioning, and definitely real estate for sure, and do more. I had a great time, and like I think it went as planned. My reseller like eBay camp, we did presentations, we did training. I love teaching. I like that is my big thing, and helping people. So I would like to do more camps. I do have my Tennessee camp. There's still bunk rooms. The private rooms are sold out. And that's coming up in 3 weeks, guys. 3 weeks. I will be in Tennessee in the mountains doing another training camp. So I would like to do more of that. But yeah, let's take Clay's, and then we'll get one more question, and then we are running. We are almost out of time. Clay said he loves my hair. Thank you. Steve has the best karate chop moves. He said he uses Nextdoor for private rides off the Uber app and Facebook Marketplace to find stuff to resell and his friends. Clay does a lot of like different like making money ways. That's the thing a lot about location, you guys. Like if you're in a populated area, it's easy. Like me, I'm in a rural area and they're like, no Nextdoor exists here. So and like Facebook Marketplace isn't great either. So you have to kind of go, yeah. Clay, here's your dolphin, and then I'm going to find one more question. We have over 550 people in the chat. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. Let me get the dolphin, and then we will get one more question, and I'm going to see who's going to be with us next week.
Super chat.
Thank you, Clay. Okay, hold on. I'm looking. I'm going to put this as a comment. This isn't a question, saying that Raiken Profit is the reason I started eBay years back. His videos were awesome for newbies.
I saw
sure.
Margaret
Thanks,
had posted, Texas Scout Treasures had posted a similar comment for you, Steve.
Yeah, Margaret and I, we
nice.
go way, way, way back. I mean, I think the first time we met was in Austin, Texas. I think 6-7 years ago. I'm so proud of her progress. She's been crushing it. She's grown so much.
Yeah.
I love her channel.
Yeah. Margaret's been on with us before. It was fun. I love Margaret too.
Did you ever see the video that Margaret posted? I think it was Margaret, where like she went into her Goodwill and it was like a picture of her with like holding a jewelry thing, and it's like, look, Margaret from this YouTube channel buys these, and they like raise the prices or something, and her picture was at the Goodwill. You ever saw that? It was
No,
that is so funny.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was.
That is hilarious. I'm searching. Richard, should I put your question up? You can't spell. Richard says he's on vacation. He put his store. He wants to know how would you, well, I don't know that all of us extend our vacations by an extra week, Richard, because we are on the beach. So would you, I think what he's asking is, would you do the vacation mode or would you do extended handling, or how would you do it?
I don't know. Honestly, like I think that I have extended the handling time. So it depends on how long I would be gone, I think.
Yeah, I just send my stuff to Amazon, so I mean, I don't have to put vacation mode on.
He doesn't have to worry about that.
I'm always on vacation mode with FBA.
Yeah,
there's another plus.
Yeah, there's another plus. That's just a plus.
Dale's got like her
up here,
pros and cons list there.
I do when I go on vacation. I usually go like on a week vacation, so I do vacation mode but I still allow sales, and then I usually do an automated message to the buyer stating I am on vacation mode, and then it will be shipped on this date. But I still do allow sales. But there is a way you can not allow sales and just go ahead and cut it all off. I don't do that, and I still answer like messages and stuff like that if I have service. But yeah, I always do vacation mode.
Yeah, and I never take a vacation that long. That's why my 5-year plan includes a manager to like not have to go on vacation mode. I just extended my handling because I normally just go for like a weekend. I'm never gone that long. Okay, so I scheduled them like forever ago, so I do have to verify, but we have Tip of the Mint Flips, Drew, and Amber Resells scheduled with us next week. Cool. If you guys, I wanted real quick, Miss Martha, you do not need a P.O. box for eBay. You do not. The big reason a lot of us that are on social media is because like we're not wanting our home address. So that's why we're doing it. But before I had my YouTube, I just used my home address for my eBay address. So Amber Resells, Tip of the Mint Flips, I have to confirm with them. And yeah. So hopefully it will be on next week. We're scheduled out, like right now we're scheduled out to almost July. So I schedule people like months in advance, and then I have to be like, hey, do you remember me? Because it's been so long since I did that. But yeah, so thank you guys for coming. I'm going to let Dale and Steve tell you guys bye. If you guys have videos coming up you want to tell them or anything going on. And then we will say goodbye. Here's Miss Dale.
Well, again, I'm like the worst reseller YouTuber right now because of starting the new job. So I really don't even have videos planned right now, and I need to get to listing. But Hopefully I'll be back and you guys will stick with me through this little transition period that I have. So thank you again for letting me come on and join the chat.
You are welcome. Here's Steve.
I love Dale's energy. I gotta check out your channel and see what's going on. What's your channel called?
Flippin Fiasco.
Okay, I'm gonna.
She is a fiasco.
I love it though.
True.
I love it. Yeah, thanks again for having me on. This was really, really fun. I think this is a really cool idea to have like 4 different people on it. And I like how you organized it where everyone's going at once. I never thought of that because like when I used to do these back in the day, everyone would be talking over each other. So kudos. Good job on that. This was a lot of fun, but yeah, I've got a lot of videos scheduled. So if you want to learn about selling on Amazon, I also talk about eBay, even though I'm not as much of an eBay seller anymore, just for time restrictions. I still love eBay. Like I'll always be going to thrift stores. I'll always be going to garage sales. And most of the stuff you pick up, you're going to flip it on eBay. Amazon's not as open of a market as eBay, but yeah, grateful to come on. It's so fun. There's always something you can learn from everybody. It doesn't matter. Like in Dale, you were saying like you're a smaller seller. Like it doesn't matter. We all learn from each other. And there's always like something special that you can learn from every person. So thanks everyone for having me on. This was a lot of fun. If you guys want to check me out on YouTube, I'm at Raiken Profit on YouTube, and you can check out 2,500 other videos I've made over the last 9 years.
A long time. Steve has us beat on videos for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
And Julian's doing every other day. I saw his pop up before here, so his will be not tomorrow, the next. I am going to be doing another research video on teacups tomorrow, which, like I said, everybody like I'll tell you the first few I've found have sold for over $2,000 for one teacup.
That's
Julian
ridiculous.
knows I love teacups. He knows I've made good money on teacups. So watch out for that tomorrow night at 8:30, and we will see you guys next Tuesday, hopefully with Amber and Drew. I'm going to message them once we get off here. We will see you guys. We're here every Tuesday, and it looks like the week after for 2 weeks, Julian will be gone. I did not fight. Everybody thinks I like get rid of him every time he like goes on vacation. They're like, "What did you do with Julian?"
I do
Julian
text
will
her
be
though
gone.
and say, "Am I fired? Do I still have a job? Can I come back to work?" She's like, "Yeah, you're not fired. I never fired."
You guys make
He's
a great
been-
team. I hope you stick
He's
around.
been here for a long time. I know
Yeah.
we're like at 1.5 years now, I think. It's been a while. We've been together for a while. So all right, guys, we will see you next week. Bye.